professor in class. This is Giovanni. In today's presentation, I will briefly explain natural law, categorical imperatives, utilitarianism, and contractionalism. I will also give an example of how two of these theories apply in public administration. Lastly, I will discuss virtue theory and its role in public administration. According to Thomas Aquinas, humans are born with an innate understanding of right and wrong, derived from God, even if a person is unaware of God. This is natural law theory. Human beings made in the image of God are naturally inclined to pursue fundamental goods, including life, reproduction, educating one's offspring, seeking truth, living in society, avoiding offenses, and shunning ignorance. These goods are recognized through instinct, while reason allows us to develop natural law from them. However, people deviate from these laws due to ignorance and emotion, when feelings overpower reasons and lead to bad decisions. Immanuel Kant believed morality is grounded in reason, not God, emotions, or consequences. He argued that ethical rules are constant and universal, like a mathematical equation where x always equals y. For example, if you want to be healthy, then you must exercise. Now, this is based on personal desire and it's not truly moral. Morality comes from universal principles, not individual wants or outcomes. He introduced the categorical imperative, a framework based on duty and reason. It includes four formulas: universal law, humanity, kingdom of ends, and autonomy. Each helps determine if an action is morally right. Kant's framework is deontological, meaning that actions are judged by moral principles, not by their consequences. Unlike Kant, Bentham and Mills focus on outcome and consequences. Utilitarianism evaluates actions based on results, not intentions. Actions are measured by how much happiness or pleasure they produce. This is a hedonistic perspective where pleasure is the highest good and actions are right if they maximize pleasure and minimize pain. Although it may seem self-centered, it is actually other-regarding. It promotes the greatest good for the greatest number, known as the principle of utility. It also suggests we follow rules that generally produce the greatest good, encouraging decisions that benefit society rather than the personal gain. Thomas Hobbes presents contractionalism. He argued that humans are driven by self-interest and survival, which leads to conflict. Over time, people realize that cooperation is more beneficial than competition, so morality is created through social contracts. Morality does not come from God or innate systems, but from agreements between people. Actions are right if they do not violate these agreements. Some contracts are implicit, meaning following them without formally agreeing. For example, being born into a society like the United States comes with the expectation of following its laws. In the end, morality exists because we create it through agreements to maintain order and avoid chaos. As stewards of public resources, public administrators are influenced by public sentiment, since it is the public who elects officials to whom administrators are accountable. As such, decisions often focus on outcomes and consequences while considering the needs of citizens. Thus, utilitarianism comes into play as it promotes the greatest good for the greatest number. Additionally, contractionalism applies. Elected officials, public administrators, and citizens operate under social contracts, some explicit, like election and laws, and others implicit, like safeguarding public resources. These agreements provide the basis for order in society, acting as a check and balance system to help prevent chaos. Virtue theory does apply in public administration. We have chosen a field dedicated to serving others, and our character determines how we will fulfill our obligations. Our goal is to be virtuous. acting at the right time, the right way, in the right amount, and towards the right people. This requires good judgment and practical wisdom. At the same time, we are given discretion in our field. We should not fall into the trap of rigid bureaucracy and red tape, but instead find the golden mean between deficiency and excess, balancing rules and judgment. For these reasons, virtue theory is not just applicable to public administrator, but a cornerstone of it. This concludes my presentation. God bless.